know, Jerry said he was going all in. He didn't make a lot of moves.
No.
But I feel like
go.
I'm looking at the schedule, and I hear Key. I know you're not feeling great about it, but I think I got him at 11-6.
You have to have talent. And when you think about the team, and that's what I keep trying to explain. When you think about Dallas, let's focus on not making moves. That's fine. I focus on teams that make moves.
So before I even say anything, I want to address that I know this team has failed in the postseason year after year, and I know they are the most trolled team in the NFL. And yes, their roster has been declining. But at the end of the day, the Cowboys still have a very good team. And according to the odds, each team only has a 3% chance to win the Super Bowl every season. So just because they haven't won one with this team doesn't completely wipe away all of the success they had. But anyways, in this video, I want to talk about everything that has happened over the past few weeks with this Dallas Cowboys team, why I think they are going to make noise once again in 2024, and I want to talk all about the schedule that was just released because the Cowboys couldn't have things any easier. And I think they are going to be in a great spot towards the end of the year. Before I get into everything, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. We are on the road to 30k subscribers, and you guys have been so awesome. We have been growing like crazy, and all I can say is thank you. Anyways, as I was talking about, the Cowboys just found out their official schedule, and man, is it an easy one. And I think this team is going to have a lot of expectations because of it. If you're looking for a test to see if the Dallas Cowboys are the Super Bowl contenders Jerry Jones thinks they are, look for their midseason stretch in October and November, from October 6th through November 18th. The road is pretty tough. They play at Pittsburgh, home against Detroit, then after a bye, they travel to San Francisco. The one soft spot is a trip to Atlanta, but the reward for surviving that is back-to-back home games against Philadelphia and Houston. If the Cowboys get through that, they have a chance to coast down the stretch and be a battle-tested team for the playoffs. That's a big if though, and I don't want to make this joke right now, but I'm feeling like they will go 12-5. There were a lot of questions after that embarrassing loss at home in the first round against the Packers. And it was so bad that people wanted the entire coaching staff gone, including Mike McCarthy. I personally thought that was a reach because of how much success he's had during his tenure, but this is definitely the last chance. I really did think last season was, but if Dallas is an early exit once again, it's all over. But like I said, with the schedule, they should be in a great position to finally make that run everyone has been waiting to see. Now I want to move on and talk about the draft, because the Cowboys really did kill it. With the 29th overall pick, they selected Tyler Guyton, a tackle out of Oklahoma. This pick might have been a surprise to some, but considering they traded down 5 spots from number 24, still got a left tackle that should start right away, and picked up a 3rd round pick, it looks like a great move. He was impressive in his press conference on Friday, and seems like he's ready to get to work and prove he can be a staple on the line for years to come. Next up in the 2nd round, with the 56th overall pick, they selected Marshawn Kneeland, a defensive end out of Western Michigan. He is a gritty run-stopping player who likes to mix it up on the line. He has 28 career tackles for a loss and should add instant toughness to the unit, which lost 4 players in free agency. In the 3rd round, they selected Cooper Beebe with the 73rd overall pick, who is a guard and center out of Kansas State. There are questions where he might play, but no questions about his toughness and ability to block. So those were the early round picks, and they followed them up late in the draft by taking a linebacker, corner, wide receiver, offensive lineman, and defensive tackle. So look for some of those guys to develop and eventually start playing for this team down the line as guys start to age, which really is already starting to happen and is a concern for many fans. The window to win is right now, and like I said, that window is starting to close at a very rapid pace. Moving on, next I want to talk about Dak Prescott. There has been a lot of speculation going around about if he is the guy for the long haul, even after the incredible season he put together in 2023. And with the amount of money Jared Goff just got paid by Detroit, he isn't going to be any cheaper. Prescott already had plenty of leverage thanks to a cap number in excess of $55 million this year, and a straight line to free agency in 2025. The Goff deal gives Prescott even more reason to dig in and push for more than whatever the Cowboys were willing to pay. The Cowboys have a bad habit of dragging their feet when it comes to contracts for key young players. They did it with Dak starting in 2019, they did it with running back Ezekiel Elliott, who held out for much of his 4th training camp, they're doing it with receiver CeeDee Lamb, and with Dak a second time, and they quite possibly will do it with linebacker Micah Parsons. Who knows? Maybe the Cowboys will let Dak go to the open market, daring him to find a better deal elsewhere. Maybe he will. Regardless, the Goff deal makes it reasonable for Prescott to dig in. The only question is whether the Cowboys will give up and let Dak see what's out there, hoping he'll eventually take their best offer and refusing to give him a contract with a value beginning with a 6. Anyways, who knows what's going to end up happening with Dak. But now, I want to talk about the weapons around him. As most of you all probably know, the Cowboys recently brought back over Ezekiel Elliott from New England. I guess this was a good move after losing Tony Pollard, but this is going to have to be a very pass-heavy team because I don't think Zeke has that explosiveness anymore, and I don't think he's going to be able to consistently take on the load of a full season. I know this might be a stretch, but I would love to see a little bit of Deuce Vaughn action. The receiving core around Dak should also be pretty solid once again, but CD is going to have to carry most of, if not all, the load. Last season, he put up record-setting numbers with 1,749 yards and 12 touchdowns off 123 receptions for an average of 13 yards per catch. He has solidified himself as a top 3 receiver in the game. And really, I think it's going to be up to the guys behind him, because if Lamb gets double covered, somebody else is going to have to step up. I'm talking to you, Jalen Tolbert and Brandon Cooks. But another guy who will also probably see a ton of targets this season is tight end Jake Ferguson, who really made a name for himself in the 2023 season. Basically, we already know what this team can do in the regular season, and with this schedule, they should be able to rack up a ton of wins. But they definitely can't overlook their opponents because teams rise and fall. And just because your strength of schedule isn't very high doesn't mean it will end that way. We saw teams like the Texans, who were not projected to do anything, become one of the most electric teams in the game. Let me know in the comments below how you guys are feeling about the Cowboys coming into the 2024 season. And even though it seems far away right now, the draft is already over, mandatory camps are going to start in a few weeks, and before you know it, kickoff is going to be right around the corner. Anyways, that's all I have for this video. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point, and if you enjoyed and haven't yet, make sure to drop a like and subscribe because your support truly does mean the world. And also, follow me on Instagram because I am posting tons of cool sports content on there every single day. And until next time, I will see you all later.